Good evening, rhinos. Oh, come on in, come on, come in, come in, come in, come in, come in, come in. So I finished watching all of our Zooms and I noticed that I do the same exact thing every single time. And I think I'm like fairly unique, right? So every single time, because I have the camera on my phone as well as the computer, and the phone is the camera portion, right? Like you can see me obviously. But because I have hosts on my computer, the phone lets me know that it's being recorded because it believes that it's a separate entity. It's letting the person behind the phone know it's being recorded. In which case I have to get up and press got it. Otherwise, that's all I see, just a message instead of seeing myself right in front of me. So the first 3 seconds is of every single one of our Zooms is me getting up and then pulling my shirt down so I look like a normal human being when I sit. And that's assuming that I press it correctly on the first shot. If I press it too hard, then this whole tower is going to tip over. And then I have a chair that spins. So I have to make sure that I plop exactly in the right portion. Otherwise, I'm going to fall on the floor. And if I do it on any different angle, the chair goes flying back. The point of me saying this is the first 5 seconds of this live is like an acrobatic skill set that I never thought I'd ever have to share with anyone, but that's my life. And I do it again for you. Always, always, always. All right, cool. So let's see. Now that we heard my ranting and raving, we have a really good group on tonight. I've noticed that this week is slower than other weeks, which is fine, right? Like I understand that. It's the holiday week. I was with my wife, obviously, for Christmas. And I was like, babe, it's been I have off for 4 days in a row. I don't remember the last time I ever took off for more than, well, for my birthday I had to because she kidnapped me and took me away. But that was still even only 3 days, 4 days, I was losing my mind. On the fourth day, I said, thank you, God, that this vacation's over. I want to get back to work. She goes, babe, next week is the same thing. It's, New Year's Eve ends up on a weekend and it's 4 days again. I go, you gotta be kidding me with these breaks and these vacations. Like, I'm so sick of it. And she goes, that's because you're like a different type of person. Other people love the breaks. Other people love the vacations. And I think it just hits into a bigger point. I remember when I was younger, I was told when you love what you're doing, you're never really working, right? I have full autonomy to do anything I want because it's my company, right? But that being said, I've dedicated the notion of I work for myself to something bigger. I want to work for you, right? Like this platform is made for everyone because again, everyone owns it. It's not like, oh, Anthony owns it all and he's just, singing and dancing and we're tipping him. No, everyone owns the platform. In fact, we're giving the platform away every single month in the form of more and more and more and more coin. So it's not, and that's not even talking about the investors that own the company, right? Like I'm the majority shareholder, but I don't own the majority of the company, right? Like I'm not, what's the word? It's majority and is another word, right? Like I don't own over 50% of this company. I own more stock than anyone in the company because I started it, right? And I'm always going to have majority ownership, but I don't own over 50%. There are so many people involved. And anyone that has any involvement in this will tell you, for 3 years, I've been writing commentaries every single month. For 3 years, I've sent checks every single month. For 3 years, I never missed a phone call. I've never missed an opportunity to speak to anyone that's been a part of this platform. Because to me, doing something great can only be accomplished when you're accountable to someone else, right? Like for the longest time, I've been talking about losing weight. All right, babe, every Sunday we do the same thing. I say, okay, this is my last supper. And then tomorrow I'm going to eat good, eat good, eat good. But I'm only accountable controlling interest. No, but I understand what you're saying. It's minority, it's majority and plurality, right? Like I have and I guess that's for voting, right? Like I have the majority voting, but not the plurality, meaning I'm the largest shareholder, but if everyone got into a group against me, I wouldn't be the largest anymore. Anyway, so every Monday, then I just start eating regular again. And it's because the only one I'm accountable is to the woman I live with who loves me more than life itself, right? So it's not like that person's going to say, hey, fatty. So I'm not really accountable. But when you become accountable to someone, like say, for instance, you want to quit smoking. I dare you to go online and take a video of yourself saying, hey, everyone, I'm going to quit smoking. You can mark it down. My name is Anthony, and it is 8:05 p.m. on a Tuesday evening, and I'm going to quit smoking. And I'm going to come back here next week and give you an update. Well, I can promise you, even by yourself, you're going to think about like, whoa, I can't have this cigarette. Like, I'm going to look like such a fool to so many people. And that motivation, that accountability is what pushes you forward. So is it coincidence that my goals are so large that I can't do them alone? Or is it nature nurture? Is it chicken or the egg? Are my goals so large because I know I can only accomplish them with accountability? And if I had that accountability, is the sky the limit? Maybe that's the case. And I tend to think it is, because I got to tell you, when I'm sitting home, you could ask my wife, hey, babe, we have this new thing. Can you put it together? I'm sitting there reading the instructions like I'm taking the SATs in Mandarin. I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, seriously? It's like this, like, here's a screwdriver. Give me the Phillips head, not the other head. I go, the who, the what? What are you talking about? That's what life is like when I'm not doing this, right? Which is why I love doing this, because this is where my heart and passion is. So maybe life is like that elsewhere, and not elsewhere as in home is elsewhere, but doing little projects like building like a table is something that's so, 7 levels from thinking about, right? So that's a little bit of a soliloquy this morning, and I love being accountable to everyone. And I wish, and I think that if everyone had the opportunity to be accountable to others as well, they would find the same joy. And I find that when you're an employee of a company, the accountability of your employer is a real one, right? Like, oh, if I don't do this, I'm going to get fired. But you never do it with 100%. And you could say you do, and I would just think you're a liar, right? Like, anytime anyone does 100% at work is just because they believe that they're going to attain a higher level of accreditation, perception, salary, whatever. But if you have a $15, $20 an hour job, and you are only ever going to make that $15 or $20 an hour because that's the budget for your position, do you take it home with you? Do you sit up are you like me, where you wake up at 2 a.m. and run to the whiteboard in your child's room and write down the idea so you don't forget it, so that when you wake up, you can go ahead and consider it? You don't do that because it's like a $20 an hour job. Not that $20 an hour is bad, and not that having a job is bad. That is not what I said. So get that out of your head. What I said is that the pinnacle? Is that all you could be? Is that job the level of your potential? And I don't think it is. I think there is higher potential for you. Therefore, there's more of you that you can give to something. If you believe in it, if you see it, and you can envision where you are, where you're going with it, right? That's right. So it's so funny, because I was just speaking to our project manager, Abigail, and her day's pretty much over, but she's so fantastic. Her day is never really over, right? Like, I message her on Slack, and she's like, hey, what's up? What can I do? And I'm like, no. You're like doing so fantastic. Like, you're good where you are. But I went ahead and updated our important doc sheet, because we have a sheet that we share between us. And by the way, when I say update the important doc sheet, I'm talking about I put 5 different things that people couldn't do in a week that are all due tomorrow, and that we're going to share and do it together, right? So we operate at a very high level. But the point is, the last thing I wrote on that doc is something that I'm not going to share with you, but it is something that I'm going to move a little quicker on. The point of me saying that is, this entire journey has been one that has been self-fulfilling, right? Like most people, 99.99% of people that ever sell you anything, you think to yourself, well, if it was so great, why don't you just do it yourself? Right? Like, how many times do you see people selling crypto programs? Oh, this thing will trade for you. You could burp, fart, eat Pringles, and this thing will make you a millionaire overnight. In fact, I just got an email from someone saying they made $3,500 by doing nothing. And I think to myself, oh, that sounds great, right? Am I so stupid that my thought stops there, right? Oh, this thing was going to make me $3,500 a day just by doing nothing. Oh my God, I better jump into it. What have I been waiting for? Or do I stop and think and say, well, if it does that, why wouldn't this person just keep it themselves, right? Like, why wouldn't someone just go ahead and keep all that for themselves? And in fact, if they're making that much money, why do they need to be doing sales? And that's like kind of along the lines that I started thinking, and I'm like, oh, this is the selling point, right? Like, I'm supposed to be so dumb that someone could say to me, hey, this makes $1 bazillion. Why don't you buy it? So that I could give them money so that they could go ahead and feed their family, because apparently this thing's not doing it for them. Maybe it just can't do it for them, right? Or the stockbroker that says, oh my God, I pick all the best winners. I know every single investment ever. But why don't you manage your own money? Why do I have to pay you for you to manage my money? Every single product ever, you could think to yourself, well, why don't you just go ahead and use it yourself, right? Like, if it's so great, why are you even selling it? And if it's so, it's like, for instance, so when I proposed to my wife, right, fiance at the time, I saved up to buy a Tiffany's ring. I don't spend any money on myself. Anyone that knows me knows Anthony doesn't even eat during the day. How does he get so fat? Well, because he eats a thing of pasta at the end of the night, which costs $5, right? I hate spending money on myself. But for someone, if you're going to give your life to someone, or you're going to elevate them to the point where you want to tell them how you feel about them, well, I'll save up and work my tush off to go ahead and do that, right? The point being, just for fun, after we got engaged, we were in the mall and we were walking around the stores, and we walked past Kay Jewelers. And I said to her, because I always joke with her, I go, babe, every kiss begins with K, because I think that's an amazing marketing line. Like, every kiss begins with K, like you get the ring, you kiss, and then the word kiss begins with, like, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So we go in there, we're taking a look at the rings, and there's like a 3-carat ring, like this wonderful big ring. And we say to the guy, like, oh, wow, that looks great. Before we keep saying anything, he goes, you know what? If you buy it now, I'll give you 20% off. I look at her. I go, oh my God, like, how much of a piece of garbage is this thing that you're immediately offering me a discount? And when we walked away after they told us the price, she goes, Ann, what would I have to do to get that ring? I say, you'd have to give them your ring and then ask for a balance back, right? The point is, if you're selling something, then why are you discounting it? If it is so great, why are you discounting it? If it could do so much, why aren't you using it yourself? And I find that when you actually ask that question to the people that are selling you things, you very quickly realize that they were just all scams, right? Like, you have your elite, your top 1% that have been born into wealth. And I don't want to go ahead and say anyone that has wealth had it given to them. There is a percentage of people that scratched and clawed and worked their off to get there. And I want to point that out because that's real. But the challenges of doing that, right? Like, the American dream was once where you could just go and work. And as long as you worked your butt off and you gave an honest day, you could have an honest living. Well, that's been sold, right? Like, our big business and big government have sold you out left and right. And now to reach those heights, you have to do something extraordinary. And it's not that it can't be done. Maybe you're Elon Musk and you invented like an electric car. Maybe you're Jeff Bezos and you invented e-commerce, right? Maybe you're Mark Zuckerberg and you invented social media, right? Maybe you're Anthony and you're Rhino and you invented distributive marketing, right? Like, you need to invent something that makes sense and then work your all day to get to that point. And that's quite unfair because, to me, I'm a psychopath, right? Like, I'm going to work, I'm going to scratch and claw, I'm going to get what I want no matter what. And if you tell me no, that's where I start, right? Hey, Ant, this can't be done. Good, hold my beer. Like, that's where I'm going to start. But that's not fair to the general society. Like, I don't wish this on anyone. I don't wish that the mumbling, bumbling, naive, lovely, butterfly personality has to now become me, right? Like, I want that person to go work at Wegmans, right? Or CVS or Wawa. And I want them to get the raise every year. And I want that after 20 years, they have a salary that is like in the 80, 90,000, and they have a pension and a 401k coming their way because they worked an honest job, worked an honest living, and made it. And their focus was spent on family and education and friends. And it wasn't spent on trying to identify every dirtbag around the corner that was looking to take advantage of them, right? Like that's what I wish on everyone. I wouldn't wish anyone my life. My life is going to reach the highest heights ever known. But that wasn't because like it was a pleasant experience, right? Like I was waking myself up with my own alarm clock at 4 years old to get to school on time, but first made breakfast for my little brothers and woke my mother up before them so that she could be awake for them. Take that, multiply it by infinity. That's what I've been doing for the last 31 years, right? Like I don't wish that life on anyone, but can I tell you, I'm wildly and uniquely equipped to get where we want to go. So what's my point? Like, why am I going through all this? So the natural progression of what we're doing, right? So when we started, we offered Rhino Traffic, and it was a $500 a month program. And what it was we were going to build you the app, we were going to bring in the community, we were going to recommend you to the community, and we were going to pay the community to consider your offer, right? So the 500 you gave to us really, really never went to us. We then used that to divvy it up and buy an audience and say, hey guys, as long as you are you receptive to our offers, we'll give you money every month, and you're happy, they're happy, we'll own the marketplace, we're happy. And then we realized, well, that doesn't really work. Sure, it sounds like a good idea. And sure, a lot of people actually paid and participated. And they've since been very, very well compensated. And there's some of the VIPs that we have. We've stopped payment on everyone. We've canceled every single payment. And we've compensated in Rhino Coin, which they could then go ahead and sell next month at 2 cents when they've gotten it for 1.5 cents. So theoretically, everyone actually, we paid you to have been a part of that, right? So we're happy, you're happy, everyone's happy. But the point of that was we cannot think about growing a business where we're looking to help people. And I don't want to say help. I hate saying help because it's not like you're an invalid that can't do anything yourself. You've just been dealt a really raw hand. So I don't want to say rescue because I feel like that's like, Anthony, who are you to rescue someone? But only after you rescue someone can they understand who you were to rescue them, right? So let's just say we were looking to be on the same team, right? We could not take money from the people that we're looking to be on the same team with and grow a business on it, right? Like, hey, we're going to make you money. You need to pay us for this ability. And the thing is, what we're really selling at that point is trust. And I'm a trustworthy individual, and our idea was a good idea, and it was trustworthy. But at the same time, we're still doing the same thing everyone else is doing. Well, Ant, and I say this to myself, right? Like I talk to myself, well, Ant, if your idea is so good, why do you need me to do it? Why don't you go do it yourself? And I realized, well, maybe my idea wasn't that good. Maybe it was like just better than everyone else's because they're like really not smart people and they're all con artists. But maybe I'm missing something, right? So we took the next step and we said, you know what, we're giving everyone, we're canceling all payments, we're compensating all the money that came in with the coin, and we're going to do everything we said we were going to do, and we're going to build it even better. In fact, we're not going to take money from any single person going forward. No money, no payments, our platform's free, because we want to make sure that you have a place that you can call home that's not looking to take your money. You should have that. Everyone should have that. So how does the platform get financed, right? Like, how do we grow? Well, that was the beauty of it. We had to find something that could be an investable asset that would be a good investment for those that are part of the platform. And they would have a front row view to understanding how the investment works, right? So we said, okay, well then in 2023, we're going to transact solely in Rhino Coin, our entire platform. And every company will have a Rhino wallet connected to their processing system, which means you could collect money any which way you would normally do. It then just converts into coin, which means that money is used to buy the coin and you can redeem it immediately, but meaning each transaction automatically equals a buy for the coin. Hence, the more transactions equals the more buys for the coin. And we all know more buys than sells equals a coin that goes up versus going down, right? Right, okay. Okay, so if the transactions equal the value of the coin going up, well, then if we just build out as much companies as possible, and we give everyone the coin and we allow them to buy the coin at these like 1.5 cent type of prices, well, then they are front row and they are actually in the driver's seat to go ahead and create as a team, like we have to be a team, not one of us could do anything by ourselves, right? That we can do as a team, we could turn that coin into being worth so much money based on the level of transactions we do. So how do you do transactions? Well, you have to have a company and you have to have buys, right? You have to have customers. Okay, well, if everyone's in it together, then why can't we just buy from each other? Why do I need to go to Walmart to buy a shirt when I could buy it from Dave Anderson, who has the most amazing stuff on our platform, right? Why do I have to go anywhere to get something when I could buy it from someone on the platform? Okay, well then how do you do that? That means we have to have a lot of people on the platform. We have to have so many different companies on so that we could go ahead and purchase anything we like. Like, can we have a produce company? Can we have someone that does meal delivery, right? Like these are the things we should have on our platform, which means we could all just purchase from within. Well, if we were going to do that, we have to something that made that easy. So we went ahead and coded our own search engine. Our search engine on Rhino Marketplace only shows results for our companies, for our marketplace. Meaning if you're on the marketplace, there is no, hey, Ant, how do I do paid ads? Or how do I get highlighted? How do I do this? No. If you have a company and someone's searching for something that you sell, they're going to find your company because you are one of the few results on the search engine. We're not like Google. We don't have 1 trillion results. We have 36 right now. But could we get we need more results than that. We need hundreds, right? Because I could think of more than 36 items somebody would want to buy. So we need to have more companies on the platform. The more companies on the platform equals the more options of things to buy. But each business owner is then a customer of the other people on the platform. So it just keeps growing and growing and more transactions and more transactions. And boom, the coin's worth how much money. And we even went ahead and did all the math. We have a complete spreadsheet that is in real time, that gives you real-time access to the balance sheet of everything calculated against each other to predict and forecast the price on any given moment. Okay. So we did all that. Which brings me back to my original point of the idea that I shared with Abigail earlier that I'm not going to share with you. Probably not till next month. Because I still don't think we're there. I still think, okay, Ant, if it's so great, why don't you do it yourself? Why don't you just build this whole community yourself if it's so great? Why do you need other people to do it? If you can go ahead and bring in an audience and companies to buy from each other and every company, it would behoove them to do it, why don't you just do it yourself? Okay, I understand that. Well, my answer is I can't run many individual companies, right? Like I can't physically as one person run 100 t-shirt shops, 100 meal replacement shops, 100 vitamin shops, 100 IV infusion shops, 108. I can't do that. You know who could do that though? People. So maybe I am going to share the idea. People could do that. What if we just went ahead and really just took it to what if we took it to the next level? What if we took it as far as we could go and said, you know what? We're so great. Why don't we do it ourselves? How about we go ahead and do that? How about we take our own advice? How about we actually build something that we think is so great that we could do it ourselves? What if we, with our website team, our marketplace team, our traffic team, our every team, just made our own businesses? And what if we took those businesses, put them on the marketplace, and then just gave them to people? What would happen? What would happen if I hired a team to just make businesses, right? Hey, I need that t-shirt piece, I need this piece, I need this piece, I need, make them. And then we just gave them to everybody and said, okay, this is now your company. This is now your company. You are now on our marketplace. You now have an audience. You now have people, coming. You now are on the search engine. You basically own this company. I honestly think that is the most craziest good idea I've ever had in my life. Because think about it, from my perspective, we have the money. Do you know, almost 19 million coin has been purchased so far. This is all because of you. We have the money. And I'm not just sitting on the money. I'm not just going to go ahead and buy my wife 3 Tiffany rings. Like, she has 1. Leave her alone, right? Why can't I go ahead and hire that business specialist a little bit sooner? Why can't I hire 2? Why can't I hire ones that I say, listen, your sole job is to work with the website team, build out companies. I want 5 companies a day, and I'm just going to give them to people. Well, I can tell you this, the person that would get the company would be quite excited, quite happy. They're a business owner right away. They'd have sales right away. They'd have traffic right away. They'd be in a marketplace right away. They'd be part of a community right away. They'd own Rhino Coin right away. And more so than that, they would be super loyal to Rhino. And not because like, hey, they're obligated to me. I don't own anyone. But you can imagine if you gave someone that much stuff, they would say, hey, listen, you're a good guy. I like what you guys are doing. I want to be here with you. Which means in 2023, do you think they would have any problem operating in Rhino Coin? And more so than that, do you think they'd have any problem keeping Rhino Coin on their balance sheet? Because here's the thing, our coin is going to be based on transactions, right? Like, because we have a real coin that's based on real things. It's not like, hey, look at this cute little stupid dog on a coin. Why don't you buy it? No, it's the coin is valued in transactions because every transaction buys the coin. Therefore, transactions equals buys, more transactions equals more buys equals more coin, right? Duh. So if we have a bazillion companies that are all successful, we have a bazillion business owners all happy, we have a bazillion transactions all happening, and then we have a bazillion companies that are actually keeping the coin on their own balance sheet as investments, and they're across the entire globe. And I gotta tell you something, if we gave a successful company to someone, and we said to them, hey, listen, do you know anyone else that we can do this for? Because if you do, we'll reward you with additional coin just so that we can help them too. Do you think they would say no to us? I think that's the next step. And I had Deborah on the other day, Livingston, and she said the most wonderful thing, right? Like, so a lot of people have said nice things about Rhino, but she said, Aunt, the thing I love about you most is no matter what, when the time comes to make a decision, you seem to always find the one decision that no one ever thought of. And this because I'm operating from a perspective that I'm not looking to gas anyone up their booty, where it's like, oh, look at Ant, look how he figured it out, look how great he is. I don't have pretty girls on Dubai and money flying. I don't care about any of that SHIT. What I want is for us to be Rhino and to everyone in Rhino to be happy, to be successful. And it's not a kumbaya song, right? Like, I did the math before I did this, right? And I instinctually know the math. Here's the math. If 1% of the population owns 99% of the goods and services, it means that 1% is completely dependent on customers. Because if they don't have customers, their businesses go bankrupt, and that 1% owns nothing because 1% is 99 times less than 99% when it comes to population, which means you have 99% of the population all looking for an opportunity. And if you have 99% of the population all looking for an opportunity and you give them an opportunity that they're all happy with, then they realize to themselves that they could go ahead and participate together. They could do it together. They could be customers together. They could run these communities together. Therefore, 99% of the population actually becomes its own economy. And that 1% go kick rocks. You guys never took care of us. You could go F. You could do a bunch of things, right? Maybe we'll hire you. The point is we have 99% of the population that's gotten taken advantage of, which means we have a market and an opportunity larger and bigger than ever before in the history of the world. Now, I'm 35. I haven't been around for the history of the world, so that might be a lie. But in my opinion, I don't know opportunities that get bigger than 99% of the world, right? And if you take global population times 99%, I kind of think on population, on a numeric number, that I'm right. So nanny, poo. So that's where I'm at with that. And I think that's going to be our next step. Well, first of all, so we sent out the hiring offer to our Rhino host that we'd like to have on in January. I think that's going to be great. The business specialist we're going to have hired for February, but I do think I might move a little bit quicker on that now. And I think I might hire two, because I think I really like this idea. I have to do the math. I have to sit with Abigail. There's things that need to be done. You can't just you can't irresponsibly make decisions like this when you're accountable to other people. I can't do it. But I like the idea and I think it makes sense to me. Wait, there's no more coins? No, Fatima, there's 1 billion coins. I believe, how much is spoken for? I think 68 million spoken for. So we have roughly, 94% still available? I think that's how that math comes out. No, yeah, 94%. Okay, but I do want to do something, right? So we sent out a new email. Well, the emails we send out every single time have close to 9 to 10,000 new emails that have never heard from us. So we always have new people on our live. And not to, I guess I don't really need to get into too much more. I'm going to do a share screen. The email did go ahead. I thought you said you had returned. Oh, no. So, no. We didn't return the money for the coins. Originally, we were charging $500 a month for a service that we believe was inferior to what we're doing now. And we decided that rather than be dirtbags and take money when we didn't have the 100% confidence that we know that we would have to continue doing so, we gave that money back and we moved on and upgraded our offering to what you see right now. Because I believe if you don't have 100% belief in what you're doing, you do not take other people's money. You just don't do it. You don't do it. God doesn't like that. And I'm sure, like, he's told me that, right? So anyway, so we're gonna go to a shared screen. And for those that are new, that just got the email today, we're gonna walk you through how to get on the marketplace. Because again, that's the most important thing. Everything starts with you getting on the marketplace. If you have an existing company, great, we're gonna put you on. It only means more traffic for you. If you have a digital company, right? You could, if you could put your website on a banner ad on Amazon, would you say no to them? No, you know why? Because it costs you nothing and it's free exposure. So if you have an existing company, we're gonna do that for you. Not a banner, because that's gross, but we're going to make a beautiful, you'll see. If you don't have an existing business, simply go ahead and submit your business idea. We're gonna make that for you too. And then we're gonna put that up on the marketplace, meaning all you have to do is be a motivated human being with an idea. As long as you can do that, we're going to take you the rest of the way. And that's not meant to be derogatory, right? We believe that the education and the motivation and the things that people learn in this country have been so decimated that people, like when you think about, like I was looking at history and you see the Egyptian pyramids, right? Like the Sphinx, the Egyptian pyramids, all of this stuff, all these castles in medieval times, and you look at them and you marvel at them and you go, how did these people build these castles that high? And the answer is, they literally spent all day, every day thinking. Education and knowledge was a currency. Oh, we respect our elders. Look how smart they are. They spent their whole life learning. They're now teaching the others. Learning was meant to be an instrument to go ahead and improve society, to allow and to go ahead and empower every single mind to contribute. Now, when you have from the top big business and big government taking advantage of everyone, they have no interest in you being able to think for yourself. They want you to think just enough that you can press buttons at like your factory, but not enough that you realize that they're effing you, right? Like they don't want you to think that much. Because if all of a sudden you understood interest rates and debt and realized how much they just stole from you, you might get a little upset. So there's a level of education they want to keep you in. That being said, there is a portion of this generation that literally, without fault of their own, has just not been able to be in a position to go ahead and create and to go ahead and have that critical thinking. So when I say something, and I'm Italian, I speak very sharp, I speak very like matter of fact, get off your butt, let's go. But when I say something like, all you need to do is have an idea and a motivation, I'm not saying, hey, listen, you know, we'll even take the stupid people, right? Like that's not that sentence. That's a sentence with if you just believe a little bit, we're gonna take you the rest of the way. So please. All right, so let's see, which search engine do we want to exploit today? MSN.com? Okay. All right, so distributive marketing. Let's see where we are. That's a paid ad. I almost had a heart attack. Hey, there we are. Non-paid ad, right? Okay. So first, let's go over to the marketplace because I want to make sure that everyone knows what the marketplace is and has the opportunity to be a part of it. There's only 36 companies in here, and I think I have 57 submissions. I have more than that on this call right now. I had over 5,000 opens on the email we sent out today, which means there's a very large percentage of people that have not submitted an idea or submitted a business. I understand. It's not for 100% of people, right? Like maybe someone's a corporate exec somewhere and they want to be on these calls to see how the other side's living, whatever. I don't really care. But to tell me that less than 1% does this apply to would either mean I haven't convinced you or that my perception of reality is completely delusional. Okay, so these are the companies, and let's just pick one we haven't gone to, right? Conceptuous, let's see what this is. We are a creative studio. We offer a full range of services across web design, branding, and graphic design. Cool, let's see who they are and what their company is. I'll accept cookies from any Rhino company, right? All right, so they have a login, so obviously they have memberships, our services, okay. I like the site. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. Brands we worked with, cool. So we could contact any one of them. Now you could tell these are real brands. They're not like those stock images. All right, well, I need to know web design. Our web design services spans from the competitor analysis, UI design to ongoing maintenance and monitoring. All right. So what I think is this is a type of company that the website acts as a billboard. And what I mean by that is the website doesn't actually tell me anything other than, all right, they do web design. And that's great, right? Like McDonald's makes hamburgers. I know that by looking at the billboard. But only when I go into McDonald's do I get the full experience. Do I see the menu? Do I taste the items, et cetera, et cetera? The point of what I'm trying to say is I imagine, and I could probably, I don't know, describe an Instagram. All right, no post yet. So for the owner of this, you should have some posts. So you know what, this might be, and again, when I say things that sharply, again, you just have to understand that's the way I speak. I think the owner of this might have been a company that we might have just started with, and they might have created those so that they could start building some content. The point of the story is we're going to have to get this individual on and ask them about their company. I think then we'd be able to learn a lot more. Now, when we do that, you would see a link right here that says YouTube Q&A because we upload it to the YouTube, meaning that anyone that comes to this marketplace page would see the guy's website or gals, whoever it is, and have a YouTube link where they would see us interview them. Like, let's see, who do we want to do? Okay. Like with Deborah, yay! And I see that she's on.
No, I'm sitting here.
But you'd be able to hear everything about her company, what they do. And what's amazing about it is because once you get to this page, you could read a little bit about it. You could go to the website. But to have the opportunity to see us interviewing them and them talking about what it is that they do is quite valuable. Now, you might say to yourself, well, Ant, who has the time to go through 1,000 of those? They don't. Nobody does. But if you were able to find it by simply, I don't know, by typing something. Now, I understand Joy Enterprises and keywords are going to bring you to her. The search engine is a 1.0 version right now. We built it. By the end of this week, it'll be a 2.0. We're going to have 30 keywords for every single company, including their name. So by the end of this week, you'll be able to type in, say, Deborah, and this would pop up. Oh, do you mean Joy Enterprise, right? But upon someone doing that, so you go in here and say, I want apple pie, you type in apple pie, and then all of a sudden an apple pie company comes up, then you're able to see the 10-minute interview with the owner and see that they're part of Rhino, that we stand behind their company. Now, all of a sudden you feel quite comfortable considering being a customer of theirs, right? So this is that marketplace. Now, there's only 36 companies here right now. We expect to have many, many more, and we'll share, well, I'll show you about that in a second. But if you want to become a part of this, which I'm telling you right now, you should become a part of it, and I'm telling you to become a part of it. I just put it in the chat. By joining us, you have a very simple form. Your first name, your last name, your email, your phone number. Mind you, we have all that. You're on our live right now. Is this a future business or an existing business? Do you have a business name? What is it about your business or your business idea? Do you have a website? If not, tell us you need one. Do you have a logo? If not, tell us you need one. Tell us you need a website. Tell us anything you want, and we're going to do it with and for you. This submission comes to our Rhino Marketplace team, and then they build it all out for you, right? And then you become a beautiful site like this. And I am looking for Revive because this is a site that we actually made for this individual. This business owner did not have a site. They had an idea that they believed was going to be really, really great. We agreed with them and we went ahead and built out a site. This is gorgeous. This is what our team does. Oh, you want a cute little video? We'll even do that for you. And you want your figure to dance? We'll even do that for you, right? This is an amazing, beautiful site. Oh, you have a video that gives some authority to what you're doing? We'll even do that for you, right? You know, it's funny, my Abigail actually, she goes, Aunt, does anyone know that we're doing $10,000 worth of work for them for free? I go, Abigail, I don't actually think they know that. I think people are so used to getting totally taken advantage of that if it sounds too good to be true, then they believe it's too good to be true, which actually is the right thing to do 99% of the time. The problem is, are you smart enough or do you have the vision to see it, the 1% that you should be acting? Because if you can't, then you just doom yourself to a mediocre life where you trust no one and you accept no opportunity. That's on you, right? So you have to be able to see it. And I try to do my best to show you that by actually being live every single day. There is nothing that I hide. Look, nothing up my sleeve, right? So I want to go over to the coin, not because, well, by the way, the coin goes up in price January 1st. I'm not telling you to buy the coin because honestly, A, I don't like doing that every day because I don't like feeling like I'm begging someone to participate and to grow a platform that we're doing for everyone. But B, I don't want to go ahead and do all of that when the coin's 1.5 cents. I'll wait for the company to have better numbers and the coin to be 3 cents, 4 cents, 5 cents, which means you're going to have to spend 5 times as much to get just the same amount of coin. And at that time, you're going to look back and say, gee, golly, why didn't I just get it at 1.5 cents? And I'm going to say, I told you to, except the end of the month where I decided, you know what, I'm done. Because honestly, I said to our team, I think we run out of coin before the end of next year. I have to actually start being careful. I don't want to keep telling people to buy the coin. If you, like, I don't want to nudge people to buy the coin at small prices anymore, because I really think we're going to run out of it. And when we do, there's no more left, right? Like that's that. Everyone that owns it's going to be quite tapped because that price is going to skyrocket. What I want to show you was, this is the balance sheets and everyone knows it, right? But for those that were not on yesterday, I do want to show you that we do have our Rhino 2022, I guess, what do you call this? Like milestones, month by month, game plan, business plan, whatever, outlined. And if this is all done, we believe the opening price will be over $5 January 2023. Again, the coin is 1.5 cents right now. But this is exciting stuff. And you really should take the time to read over this. I would share it with you, but I started sharing this yesterday at 2:12 p.m. And before I was even finished, it was over 3 o'clock. The point being, it's now 8:43 p.m. And if it took me 48 minutes yesterday, I'm definitely not going to do it in 17 minutes today. But the beautiful thing about our website is that everything is right there for you. Look, this is how I got there. I will even copy and paste it, right? You go to it. You want to take a look at our full balance sheet? Boom. You want to go ahead and take a look at our 2022 step by step? There it is, right? In fact, if you want to even go ahead and take a look at every single person that owns coin, there it is. Pretty cool, right? If you want to go ahead and sell coin, there it is. Oh, that's what I want to show you. So I'm going to show you one more thing and then we're going to get go. Oh, well, 2 more things. Contact us. If anyone needs anything, and I don't want to say needs, that sounds needy, right? If anyone has a question, comment, concern, please don't be shy. This goes directly to my email. That's not always going to be the case. We're going to delegate that out as time goes on. But being that we're still in this early pre-launch, I want to make sure that everyone gets me. So this goes directly to me. Rhino Partners. So Rhino Partners, we're going to highlight tomorrow, and we're going to distribute all the coin to our winners. Not to our winners, but to those that earned. Frida, I think we owe 10,000 coin to be honest with you. There's a lot of people made a lot of coin. And we want to really share this more because we've done the work that actually even gave you the emails that are already coded with your affiliate links in it. We need people to be more active and sharing the platform with others. Because again, we're not sitting here saying, hey, we're going to sell candy bars for $5. We're literally saying we're giving everyone services because it's already funded, because the services we give equal a platform that's successful, and the ownership of that platform is where the value comes in and we all own it together. But I do want to let you go on one thing. Now, I haven't watched this yet. So our project manager, Abigail, went ahead and distributed all the gifts. She bought them and all the rest. And I tasked her with making this page and recording the video. And she goes, how do you want me to do it? I go, Abigail, I completely trust and defer to your standards. I believe whatever you do is going to be amazing. But I do want our community, I want rhinos to know what they accomplished. Like when we went ahead and set out to do charity, it wasn't, hey, we're doing charity, donate $5. Because yeah, everything should always be about giving, right? Like you give. But like my grandmother and like my mother and like everyone in my family ever says, I don't want you to grovel, but just call and say you liked it. Call and say thank you. Allow me to know that like it was well received. Like at least give me that, right? So in growing up in that fashion, when we decided to do charity, I told Abigail that I am fully on board. We want to do charity every month, but under one condition. I want some kind of video, some kind of something that our community, those that gave can see it went to the right places, and those that were a little bit on the line can see, no, this is something I want to be a part of next time, because we owe it to all those that are less fortunate than us, that we can go ahead and harness and nurture a community that is very, very well equipped and well receptive to donating to them. And everyone got really cool Rhino stuff, right? Like even my wife bought stuff, which is totally cool. So we raised $800 to purchase gifts. Now that doesn't mean that was our revenue, right? Like I think the profit margins on all this was like 40 or 50%, something like that. Abigail did this, not me. So the product had to be paid for, but the profit went to 100% of the profit went to charity. Meaning I think the Rhino community probably purchased like $2,000 worth of stuff to donate. Now we have people that are wearing hoodies and children wearing stuff. I saw a lot of these iPhone things being sold. Cool little stickers, right? A lot of stickers actually got sold. So without further ado, and I think I'm delaying it because I'm like nervous. I haven't watched this. And I'm watching the first time with you. So let's see. A longboard for a 12-year-old boy, Lego sets for an 8-year-old girl and a 10-year-old boy, a basketball for a little boy, a tennis racket for a young girl, pajamas, a 2- and 4-year-old boy, and so much more. How freaking cool. Sometimes I get taken back at what we do. Like that almost made me want to cry. I can't cry on my own live. Like I can't do that. I can already hear my wife saying, Anthony, please don't cry on your own live. Okay, that's really cool. That's so like guys, that's you. Like we did that together. We did that. So we're gonna have a charity every month. I already tasked Abigail with let's decide what our charity is going to be for next month. I do know my wife's family does a lot of charitable things on their own. So I want to reach out to them first and see what charity they're already working with or what they're doing. Maybe we participate with them. Yeah, that was awesome. But yeah, we're gonna do one every month. Why not? Like, that's what we do here. It's not about us. Let's go ahead and be the change in the world that we want it to be. And if it means that I have to drag people kicking and screaming to do it, I don't care. I'll do it. So that's a really warm note. Let's end there. Tomorrow we're going to go ahead and go over the partnership program. Tomorrow I think the Rhino feed is going to be done too. So imagine Twitter and Reddit had a baby Rhino. That's what we have. That's being coded as we speak. We're going to have our own home where everyone could post exactly what they're saying, thinking, message people. That's coming too. What else do we have? We just have so much stuff. We just do. And I cannot wait for everything to just kind of be situated enough where all of a sudden, all I do is travel around the country, giving speeches to large groups, like Chamber of Commerce type groups, renting out banquet halls, feeding the guests, having special guests up there. Because I can promise you something. I don't know if you could see it yet, but everyone's going to know who Rhino is next year. Everyone. And if you think that might have a little bit sway on the price of the coin, I cannot stress enough to you. I really, really can't. The coin is 1.5 cents for another 3 days. 1 year from now, when that coin goes on a free market, January 2023, you're going to look back and say, I was there. Why didn't I do it? So again, everyone knows how to get to it. Rhino coin, go on the site. Let me take a look at the chat. Controlling Interest Week, greetings. Wonderful, beautiful, that was awesome. Anthony, send me a picture of the logo and I'll put it on a mug, PNG. Yeah, you have the logo right there, silly goose. But if Fatima, if you go ahead and email me, I'll send you the raw copy of it. All right, cool. How do you know exactly how many coins you have and which line you are on the ledger? Hey, Carl. So great question. At the end of every month, new certificates get sent out to every single member of Rhino. So a couple of ways you would know how much coin you have. A, you would keep count of what you purchase, right? B, as it pertains to the ledger, you would know which line you're on by having a certain semblance of how much coin you own matched by your name. Now, granted, if there's 2 or 3 Carls all in the same area, well, that becomes a little difficult. Like this might be you, I don't know. But C, if you message or email me, I have the master sheet, right? So I have the sheet with the first name, the last name, the email, the dates of the purchase, the full amount, yada, yada, yada. But what I will tell you is every first of the month, or like the first of the third, right? Because if the first is on a Sunday, we're not going to beat up our team to send it that day. But every beginning of the month, you're going to get a new certificate with your updated amount, fully authenticated, signed by me, certified, etc. Secondly, you would be able to keep count of your purchases. You know which month you purchased in. You could do the math from there. Or C, simply just email me. I would always be happy to do that for you. So that's the 3 ways I would say. And Fatima said, okay. Did you say you have the master or are the master? No, I have the master doc, silly goose. I have the doc that has, because I make it. I do it every morning. I have the one with your first name, last name, your email. I just don't publicize that on our site because that would be complete suicide. I would never say I'm the master. Hold my beer, controlling. Scott, you're the best. Okay, cool. I think I answered all the questions. You know what's so funny? It's 8:54. When I came onto this, I was like, because at 8 o'clock, I was actually already home. I'm in my office at 5 a.m. Today, I was here till 3, came home because my wife had to bring her car to the shop, hung out with my son. And then around 5 or 6 o'clock, I started looking at the clock. And I'm like, oh, I have to get back to work tonight. And it's always that moment where you look at each other like, oh, okay, well, we'll do dinner later tonight. I get to the office and I'm like, okay, I don't really know what I'm going to talk about today. It's It's always kind of, I'm me, I have the same brain, and it's just what I say. And on top of that, I've watched every one of our Zoom. Oh, that's the other thing. We're going to have, so I sent everyone an email this morning. It's an open letter to Wall Street that we created. That letter is going to have a voiceover for our entire Rhino class. So everyone's going to read a line, and we're going to edit it to go ahead where each person is speaking into the next person. So the sentence, hey, my name is, someone will say, hey, someone will say my, someone will say name. And that's going to be an open letter to Wall Street where we have a complete community reading it together. It's going to be quite powerful. On that page is all the Zooms that I watched. I took out 6 5 to 10 minute segments. Each of those is like super powerful. It explains exactly who it is, what we're doing. I had the opportunity to go through all of our Zooms and find the most powerful, best stuff. Everyone has been saying to me, Anthony, not everyone could be on the lives, not everyone has the time, not everyone, blah, 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 blah. You need to have a page that's able to share this with people quite easily. That is a page that we are creating. That's going to be done tomorrow, if not the next day. That is going to be the new affiliate page where your affiliate code is going to land people to. So everyone's going to have higher level of conversions. Again, every day we're better than the day before. And we have shown you that for like 6 weeks now. Times that by 2 years, and we're all going to be like, in the words of Tupac, we're going to be in Jamaica sipping daiquiris, no doubt. I love getting Tupac and stuff. I never seem to get any emails. Should I? Mike, I don't understand why you wouldn't either. Mike, your email, can you DM it to me real quick? I should be able to record this tonight. Can you tell us the affiliate dashboard? Yeah, the affiliate dashboard is the partners. Oh, so Scott, thank you. Please record that. We got, I think, 17 recordings in today, which is far less than the amount I wanted, but that's okay. Everyone's still sending it in. This is the affiliate dashboard. Check spam. Sometimes Anthony's emails. Yeah, my own wife has me in spam. So if you click that, it'll bring you to the partnership. If you're already a partner, this is your dashboard. If you're not a partner, it'll allow you to sign up. And then it gives you your link, yada, yada, yada. But Mike, can you DM me? Hold on, let me see if I could. Unless you want to just share what's your email? I just messaged you directly, Mike. And I'll go ahead and take note of your email, because the email that I have you for is the one that's on our ledger. So maybe your email is different than the one you own coin with. I don't know. Same one. Okay, good night, Fatima. All right, Mike, I'm taking note right now. First thing tomorrow morning, I'll go ahead and check on your email. No problem, thank you. No, my pleasure. All right, everyone, it is 8:58 and everyone knows it's a modern miracle that I'm done before 9, and I want to go ahead and celebrate that. And if I continue talking, I'll have nothing to celebrate. So I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And we have Mark Royer on tomorrow, who is literally one of our favorite people, and he will be presenting his company. So you'll see that in the email tomorrow morning, and you'll have the replay available as well. But super exciting. We're going to go over the partnership program and then introduce Mike. Good night, good night, good night. No, you're awesome, Deborah. All right, I'm running out of time. Love you. Bye, everyone.